In this video, I'm going to show you the difference in the 4K of the Canon 90D compared to the Canon Vixia G50. The G50 is pretty much a camcorder, and of course the 90D is a DSLR camera. I'm not going to do a review of these cameras in this video, but I will show you the difference in the 4K, and there is a difference in the 4K of the camcorder versus the DSLR. And I left the 4K setting on the 90D at the factory setting. In order to get a better match on the 4K quality, I went ahead and switched the G50 to manual mode. Then I went into the function menu and I changed the white balance. And changing the white balance is pretty easy on the G50. You just hit the function here. As long as you're in manual mode, all these settings will appear on the side. It comes factory set and it's pretty white. I like using this mode here, the daylight mode. It more closely matches the 4K and the 90D. And I think both LED screens are about the same on the G50 and the 90D. They both are really high quality LED screens. And the main difference is how these cameras actually record the 4K footage. I'm also using the same memory card in both cameras. I really like the G50 because it has 2 memory slots. So I'm using the same P&Y card on both cameras so that the 4K footage is going to be at the same speed. And to make it easy for you to distinguish which 4K footage you're viewing, you'll see the camera appear on the screen. So for the G50, you're going to see the G50 appear, and for the Canon 90D, you'll see the 90D appear. Of course, just about any 4K video will look good outdoors. The true test of a 4K video, or how good the quality is taking shots inside without direct sunlight. And there was one slight edit that I did with the G50 footage to make it look exactly like the Canon 90D, and I just changed it to Studio RGB in my software, and this gave it the same light effect as the 90D. That way the video quality will match perfectly in this demonstration. So one of the main differences you're going to notice right away between the 90D and the G50 is that with the DSLR lens, you're going to see that it focuses more on the image in front of it, and sometimes it'll blur the background like in this shot here. And so you'll see the person is a lot more focused and the background is not in focus. Then you'll see the same shot with the G50 and you'll see that everything is very flat in the video and in focus, and it's really clear. The background is just as clear as the foreground, and so it's going to have a more flat look than with a DSLR 4K of the 90D. And so that's one major difference you're going to notice right away. And you can see that the 4K from the G50 in this clip is very sharp. Everything is in focus and it's very crisp. Here's the 90D. You can see that the 4K is softer. Even though everything is in focus, the 4K does appear a little softer and more real than the G50 4K, which is flatter. But nonetheless, whether you are looking at the G50 4K, like in this case here, or the 90D 4K, both 4Ks are really, really detailed and excellent. I think it's just a matter of preference. If you like your 4K to be sharp and crisp with everything in focus with the G50, or if you want some more definition with the 4K, which DSLR lens will produce. So I think you can clearly see that the 4K from a camcorder like the G50 is distinctly different than the 4K produced by a DSLR camera like the 90D. So I think the main factor is what your use is for the 4K footage. Nice thing about the G50 is that it records continuously. The 90D, the 4K resets after 30 minutes. So if you're doing long recordings, the G50 would definitely be your choice. And also the price point is quite different. The G50 is $900 to $1,000, and the 90D with the 18x135 lens that's currently on here is about $1,500. Leslie's Pool Supplies has been do-it-yourselfers and pool trade professionals' trusted partner since 1963, providing quality products and services to make pool care easy and solutions and expertise to do it right.